Hi everyone and welcome back. So today I have another tanning FAQ for you guys, and all these questions that I have for you today are questions that I've either gotten on other videos that I've posted or that you guys have direct messaged me on my social media accounts, and these are like the most popular asked or most commonly asked questions that I get. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started into the video. Okay, so the first question that I get a lot is if you could only pick one lotion to use forever, which tanning lotion would it be? It's a really hard question for me because I obviously have quite a few tanning lotions if you have watched any of my collection videos, and I love all of them and they're all really good for different purposes, but most normal people only have a couple lotions. Either one of these lotions are the two that I would recommend if you only want to have one or two lotions. The first one that I would pick would be the Believe in Pink Thermal Lotion that looks like this, and I talk about it all the time because it is absolutely one of my favorite lotions ever. Like I said, this one is a thermal lotion, so if you don't know what that is, it basically is like a tingler lotion, but the difference is that a tingler, it brings the blood to the surface of your skin, so it makes you tan really quickly, but it also has like this burning effect on your skin that can be kind of painful if you're not used to it. But a thermal lotion pretty much does the same exact thing. It gets you tan really fast, except it does not have any of those painful effects with it. So that would be my number one lotion choice. But some people do have weird reactions to thermals because you still do get really hot in the bed, and your skin does sometimes tend to get a little bit splotchy at first, and some people just don't like that. So my other lotion, which would be like a basic really good lotion for anybody to use, is called Woke Up Like This by Devoted Creations. And this lotion was a lotion that we would recommend to like everybody at the salon when I worked there because no one ever seemed to have a problem with it. It's nice because it does have a bronzer in it. You can see the darker brown color, but it's not super dark. It's a pretty light brown. So it doesn't look fake, and you won't start to look orangey if you use it consecutively for multiple days. And it also does have DHA in it, so it will continue to tan you after you get out of the tanning bed, and it has aloe in it. It is aloe based, so it's soothing for your skin. So I feel like this is just a really well-rounded lotion, and it also smells really good. It smells so fresh, like I want to say like shampoo or like soap or something. It just smells fresh. Like I've never had anyone complain that they smelled bad with this, that it wasn't working for them. No one was ever disappointed with purchasing this lotion, so I love that lotion so much. I think it's a great base lotion to have, and if you don't want to buy any other lotions, I would recommend getting one of those two. Okay, so the next question that I get a lot is my favorite outdoor tanning lotion. So I've mentioned this one in many other videos, but it still, to this day, is one of my favorite lotions ever. This was actually the first tanning lotion that I ever bought, this kind, and I used to use it in tanning beds, but then I discovered it works way better when you're outside, and it is called Somewhere on a Beach, also from Devoted Creations. This one's actually almost gone. I'm sad about it, but this one smells amazing. Smells just like coconut, and as you can see, it does have a bronzer, so it does make you a little bit darker quicker because you are getting a little bit of that fake tan. It's also aloe based as well, so it's a little bit more soothing on your skin while you're laying outside. The next question I get is kind of like a generalization because I get this in a lot of different forms, and it's somewhere along the lines of like, I've been tanning for like 5 to 7 days straight in the same bed with the same lotion, and I'm not noticing any more progress now. My skin has like plateaued and I'm not getting any darker. And so the answer to that basically is that it's really important to switch up the beds and the rays that you're getting and using different lotions because your skin does get immune to what you've been using after you've been using it for a while, so you kind of do stop making progress and you plateau. So if at all possible, when you're buying packages and stuff like that at your salon, make sure that you're able to switch up your levels because that's how you keep getting color, or else you're kind of paying for nothing after a while. I know that my salon and a lot of the salons that I've been at, you can pay for like a higher level and then you can use all the ones below that for, not for free, but it's all included in the package because you're paying the higher price. So if you're able to do that at your salon and you can alternate between the higher and the lower levels, it really does help to switch up the rays. And then same thing with lotions. Even if you just get 2 lotions and you alternate them so you're not using the same one every single day, it really does help and kind of keeps your skin like on its toes so it doesn't get immune to what you're using and you continue to keep tanning. Okay, so another common question that I've been getting is, does tanning actually help cure acne and scars that you have? So for the acne part, I've never gone tanning for the purpose of going to cure acne or anything, but I have had a lot of people come into the salon and tell me that they were there because their doctor like prescribed it for them almost, that it does help. And the reason behind it, I did do a little bit of research and I did discover that tanning does dry out your skin, so naturally it will also dry out your acne, which is kind of how you make that go away. But I don't really know all of the science behind it and if it's like a long-term effect or a short-term effect. I do know that it can be a short-term cure, but I don't know long-term. I don't think that it'll make it go away like completely and not come back anymore. If you're prone to acne, it's probably still going to come back, but I do think that short-term it will dry out your acne and help with that for a little while. And then as for scarring, I really don't know a whole lot about this either, and I tried doing some research on it too, but I've heard both yes and no for it, and like very strong opinions for both, so I'm not really sure exactly what the science behind that is either, but I do know that I have scars, and when I tan with them, they tend to like actually bring the color out more, like they turn more purple and they're more noticeable. I think that they just get darker like the rest of my skin does, but you can definitely still notice that it's a scar. Like, so I'm not really sure what kind of studies have been done to prove otherwise, but that's from my own personal experience. That's what I've heard, and I've never heard of anyone coming into like the tanning salon when I worked there. No one ever came in and said that they were there to like help their scars. Okay, so another question that I get quite a lot is, should you wear sunscreen in the bed? And I think I addressed this question in another video, and I believe that I just said straight up no, because what's the point of going tanning if you're not going to get color because you're blocking the rays with the sunscreen, all that kind of stuff. But after thinking about it for a while, I mean, still, if your purpose of going tanning is to get darker, I wouldn't recommend it because that's kind of defeats the purpose of going tanning. But if your purpose of going tanning is for something else, such as helping their arthritis and, like I said, the acne thing, so if your point is not to actually get a lot of color, or maybe you want to expose yourself to the rays but get a very, 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 very slow tan, then by all means go ahead and use sunscreen because that's what you're using it for. But if you're trying to get tan fast, or if you're just trying to use a tanning bed and get darker, I don't recommend using sunscreen because it kind of defeats the purpose and goes against it. Okay, next question. People always are asking me like, is 5 days or 7 days enough time to go tanning before I go on vacation and I want to be dark when I get there? So the answer to that is it kind of really just depends on you and how fast you tan. For me, going about 5 to 7 days before I go on vacation or something like that is enough time for me. I will get a good base tan, and then I'm good enough to go out in the sun and I won't get burnt because I already have a base tan and I have some color, but it really just depends on how quickly you tan. And if you've been tanning prior already to going on vacation, like maybe not as regularly, but you have been tanning recently still, it all really just depends on what you've been doing and what your skin is like and how you react to tanning beds. But generally going like 5 to 7 days like consecutively for all of those days should get you a little bit of color and a little bit of a base tan, and should be enough. But some people may need more time, some people may need less time. It really just depends on your body. Okay, another common question is, how often do I need to keep tanning in order to keep my tan? And once again, that is another personal question for everyone. My main tips for that though would be keeping a tan is make sure that you're using tanning lotion. Make sure that you are moisturizing with lotion after tanning to help lock that color in, because the last thing that you want is your skin to get dry and then flake off, because that's when you lose your tan. You're losing all the layers of skin that you just tanned. So you want to make sure you're moisturizing properly. Tanning lotions really help because they help keep you moisturized, and they also help with your color. The ones with DHA and them will continue to tan you after you get out of the bed, so you're getting more color than you would by just using a tanning bed by itself. It really just depends on how committed and what kind of upkeep you do to keep your tan. But for me personally, I can probably tan like twice a week, maybe 3 times, and like I can keep a good color. But I'm also not naturally a very tan person at all. As you can tell right now, I'm very, very pale because I have not been tanning, but I do need to go pretty regularly to keep it up. But some people may not only have to go like once a week, once every 2 weeks. But yeah, it really just depends on what kind of skin type you have, and then also what kind of upkeep you do to keep your tan afterwards. Alright, my next question that I actually have been getting a lot recently is, can I tan more than once in a day? A lot of people have their own tanning beds and they will go in that thing a couple times a day, or maybe for a really long time, and that is your call. But it is a law. I'm not sure if it's just a Pennsylvania law or if it is a law in the country, but I know in Pennsylvania it is a law that you can only tan once a day, and that is why beds have different maximum times and stuff, because it kind of correlates with how strong the rays in each of the different kind of tanning beds are. So it kind of evens itself out. They're only supposed to have so much exposure to your skin each day for safety reasons. And so personally, I just feel like if it is enough to make it a law to only tan once a day, then for your own safety, it's probably best to just stick to that. Alright everybody, so those are the most frequently asked questions that I've been getting recently. As always, if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to comment them down below or direct message me on any of my social media accounts. They're also all down below in the description box if you want to check them out. And that is all that I have for you guys today. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!